Hey guys, many of us want to contribute to our environment positively. We try and do that by buying organic, biodegradable products, cutting out plastic. I think one very simple and basic way of going about it is to start at home. And what you can do at home is separate your wet waste, which is your kitchen waste, from your dry waste, which is paper, plastic, etc. And if you can go one step, very small step ahead of that, you can prepare your own compost or khaad. If you have never made khaad at home and you have no idea how to go about it, or if you have been trying it but you think you're going wrong somewhere, today I'm going to talk all about it. First and the foremost important thing is to get some sort of a compost bin for yourself. Now you can start with a matka or something like this. This is called a khamba or a compost bin, which is made of terracotta. You can buy this online or from a shop nearby. Essentially what it does is that there are three kinds of vessels and they have holes here for aeration. Now I'm going to talk all about these minute details and what they do later, but just for the basic understanding, I'm going to take this out. Just for the basic understanding, you need to see that there are three containers, and once we fill up the first one, it goes below and the other one, which is empty, comes up. First, I'm going to add food waste to it. So when I say food waste, I mean both cooked and uncooked. I don't think it's a great sight, but you can put anything in here. And the second thing that you need to add is some leaves. So these are some leaves that I took out from our balcony garden this morning when I was trimming the plants. So this you could do every day or every alternate day. You have to keep adding dried leaves and food to this. Now the third thing that I'm going to add is curd, and you just pour it above this. Now you don't have to add curd every time you add food waste. Only to start, we're going to add curd. So the reason I've added curd is pretty simple. Curd will help to introduce microbes in the system, which will help decompose our food waste into compost. The first thing that I feel goes wrong is there's a lot of smell that starts coming out. Now, you have to understand a little science for that. Your food waste is nitrogen and the leaves that we're adding is carbon. Now, if the nitrogen amount is too much, it'll start smelling. So if you feel that continuously there's too much smell which is unbearable, add dried leaves. How much of dried leaves do you add? Just add like a handful this much of dried leaves to your compost bin. The second problem that happens is, I'm going to show you that problem is here with our compost bin as well. So what happened, I started this about a year back. I also did a video then, a link to which is going to be here. But then in December we were traveling for a month. I could not take care of it. We were away, so it has completely dried out. The compost is almost ready, but it's very dry. So what do you do when it's completely dry? You just add water. Whatever you add to your compost bin, be mindful that you're not adding too many lemons or chili. That would reduce the rate of decomposition. Also avoid using tissue papers or newspaper. If you add them, this is how the tissue paper looks like even after 3 months of decomposition. So the food has completely decomposed but not the tissue papers. If you want to add an eggshell, break it and then add it. So this is how the eggshell looks like after 3 months of decomposition. This is how the seed of a mango looks like after all these days of decomposition. Now I don't mind them looking this way and I'm going to use them as it is in my pots. But if you like, you can avoid them, or you could just follow the way I do. I add eggshell, I add mango seeds, straws of the plant, the hardy parts of the plant, and I use this as it is. I'm okay with it, but it totally depends if you want to add them or you want a proper mixed homogeneous form of compost for you. Another problem that you can face is insects. Now there are some good insects and bad insects. If you see something like this, it's alright. They are good insects, they're helping to break the food. But if you see cockroaches, rats and lizards is okay because lizards are going to eat insects and they are actually a good predator to have around your compost system. And I think most of compost bins, if you have them outdoors, you would see 1 or 2 lizards. It's completely normal. For cockroach, I understand there's a problem. So one thing I do is that we keep our compost bin either outside here in the balcony or we have space outside our bathroom, which is outside our house, and it's a confined space. So there is a very less probability of having rats there because it's closed completely and we open it only when we have to put the waste in it. But if you are seeing a lot of cockroaches, I would recommend that do some kind of a cockroach treatment in that area wherever you are keeping your compost bin. Keeping it above the ground on a stand would also help, but in this case I would suggest that keep a plate underneath your compost bin because sometimes a lot of liquid also comes out of this bin and it will become really dirty if you don't use a plate underneath your compost bin. One question that I'm asked is that how do you know that the compost is ready or not? So the way the compost should look when it's ready is something like this. This is little on the drier side, but this is completely ready and I can use it directly for my plants. I feel one major problem everybody faces is the doubt or the hesitation that it's going to be smelly. Trust me, it's not very smelly. If you continuously keep adding dried leaves to it, it's going to be completely fine. Also, what is very important is that you continuously aerate the system, which means that every week or so, take anything, for example, I use this and just mix it thoroughly. What this essentially does is that introduces enough of air or oxygen for the microbes so that they do not start anaerobically, that is in the absence of oxygen. So they need oxygen. If you don't provide them oxygen, there's something called anaerobic respiration. So that also makes the system smelly. How many days does it take to prepare compost? About 2 months or 3 months. What are the best conditions to prepare compost? You don't need sun, but it's better if the place where you're keeping it is warm. So the best conditions that work for this is warm and humid. When I say humid, I do not mean that completely soaked in water. Instead, I mean just enough water or just enough humidity for microbes to do their job. People also ask me that can we start it in a plastic bucket? Yes, you can. The thing is that in whatever vessel or container you start doing this, there should be enough pressure and heat generated from this system. The terracotta works best for me, but I've seen a lot of YouTube videos where people have done it with a plastic bucket with some holes. If you want to try out, go ahead, but just make sure that whatever container you're using is at least feet or more deep, because the deeper it is, the more pressure is going to generate and more warmer it's going to be for the microbes to do their job. That's it. It's pretty straightforward, not very complex. I hope this inspires you to set up your own compost bin. So the first video that I did was about a year back, and most of the questions that I've addressed in this video are the ones that I saw in comments there. If you still have any questions and doubts, leave them down below. We will try and address them in a coming video. I hope this helps. Thank you so much for watching.